Well, hello there and welcome back to a brand new video where today, guys, finally, we have some information from the guys over at Payday 3 because finally they are talking about a patch update. Yes, after waiting, it's been 6 weeks since the game has launched, something like that. We finally have an update. There was meant to be a patch very early on, especially fixing the PlayStation 5 cosmetics. I mean, as a PlayStation 5 owner, and buying the Golden Vault edition, the most expensive version, the most expensive version possible, I still don't have my cosmetics. Like, I paid a premium, a very big premium for this, and I still don't have basically anything. The only thing I really got from my early access was the early access, like me getting 3 days access early, which is awesome, but I didn't really get half the stuff, and I do hope that maybe Payday will kind of reward a lot of players, especially everyone. I think regardless of the version you bought, I think they should kind of give us a bit of a compensation in a way. And it might not be in terms of like monetary value, but it would be nice if maybe they could give us something for free, maybe some cash in the game or whatnot. But I do kind of think that this is way overdue, but we finally have some information, and I thought I would share it with you guys, and we can go from there. So first things first, let's have a look at the patch itself, right? Now, we don't actually have too much information about the patch. All we have so far is information about what is potentially going on and all that stuff. So I'm excited, don't get me wrong, I'm very excited to see, what this entails, but let's give this a read. Let's give this a cheeky zoom in and let's just kind of see what they're talking about. So first thing says, it says, Heisters, we've been quiet over the last few days, and for that we apologize. It's not easy to communicate when we're not being able to offer any updates on the big topic that on everyone's mind right now. When our patch is coming to Payday 3, despite our silence, we want to assure you that the whole team is working on our main priority, which is get the patch we promise out to you, and to make sure our patching process allows us to continue publishing them at a steady cadence in the future. So by the sounds of it, right, they've got the whole team. I don't know how big the team is. It's probably not the biggest team, but they've got pretty much the whole team working on this, and they're also planning on working out the kind of like the improvements for future-proofing all updates going forward. I think they kind of want to build a good foundation, a good framework, which they can use to make sure that every update becomes very seamless and that the updates can come out quite frequently. So I think that's a good thing to kind of take from this straight away. It says here, we know it sucks to keep hearing the same things, so allow us to lift the curtains a little and give you some insight on what the team is working on right now. It says here the first patch has been sent off and is currently going through a testing and certification process. We have made a commitment to our players to keep priority between all platforms, so this is an important part of the process. The reason it's taking so long to get this first patch ready is, what we're saying here, this makes sense. Is the reason it's taken so long to get this first patch ready is very long. Oh, okay, it makes sense. They said long twice here, but I know whatever they're trying to say. Basically, they're just saying it's taking a long time, and the reason is it's been a very long and complicated process. But the short version is that we discovered critical errors with our update pipeline shortly after the game release. There was a significant risk the player progression being wiped if we didn't address this and ensure a solid test environment. What is interesting there is that basically an update they could have brought out, they could have potentially wiped out all the player progression, which understandably is a big issue. It's a big risk, and I understand as to why they've kind of have kind of remove that patch and are basically doing a much better testing process, which is understandable, right? But at the same time, I mean, it's not great. I mean, I don't know how long have they been working on Payday 3? I mean, come on. I mean, this is simple stuff. I know Payday's not a AAA title, but it is kind of like basic kind of software development to have a good testing strategy. But it's good to see that they are, working on something. It does say here that we see a lot of your feedback about the progression system. Our designers are looking at how the system can be adapted to balance both the challenge system as well as offering infamy points for each heist. And we'll come back with more information on what this looks like soon. Okay. Once we can consistently deliver patches, the team will also deliver on our plans for more content for the game, expect to see free content updates for the game before the end of the year. We'll share more information on what these will be like when we get there. Again, we apologize for our silence. We see your frustration and anger, and we can assure you that it's not a situation we want to be in. The team is working hard on a game that will be supported for years to come. Years, they say, and making Payday 3 the criminal dawn. So it's interesting. I'm obviously happy that they brought out this update. What am I taking from this? Realistically, I'm taking from this that, you know, they basically didn't really have anything in place to kind of build out patches. Now it worries me. It worries me. Like, was the game rushed? You know, like, were they getting close to a deadline, and maybe they didn't want to delay the game? I mean, part of me thinks that maybe they should have delayed Payday 3 to have a better strategy for patch updates, right? Like, if you can't really support the game and you release the game and you know that there's like bugs, you know that the community might have questions and you may have to change a few things, not being able to support it or give it any updates at all is very unprofessional, very non-professional. That's the word I'm looking for, non-professional. But no, what are your thoughts, guys? Please let me know. To be honest, it's one of those things, right? It's one of those things where I'm like, I see, right, gotcha, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, okay. But the biggest question is when is it coming out? I think we don't really know. We don't know if it's coming out tomorrow, next week. It just says the first patch has been sent off. And what I would have loved, right, is a bit more information. I would have loved, like, even just, like, not like, we don't need the granular details, right, but I would have loved, like, a high-level detail, basically them saying to us, right, we are working on, in this patch, progression. We're working on bugs. We're working on, you know, maybe improving the weapon balance, whatever it may be. It would have been nice to know, like, the areas, just so we can get a little bit excited. I mean, this obviously gives us a little bit of reassurance, but, you know, they're coming back to us. But at the same time, it's like, why? Like, stop teasing us. Like, I'd rather you just say to us, hey, it's out, right? You're just teasing us here, and you've told us some stuff, but you haven't really told us much. It's like a politician. Like, they really kind of just, like, they answer your question, but don't answer your question. They kind of just go down a rabbit hole and go, yeah, this is basically, yeah. And you're just like, did he really answer my question? I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think it's, like, so, I don't know if you guys, so if you guys have been following the channel for a while, but if you guys, you probably haven't played the game, but if you have, so there's a game called, like, Rugby, like, 22, Rugby 24, Rugby 24 is coming out next year, but we're like Rugby 18, Rugby 20, etc. And I think it was like Rugby 18 or Rugby 20, right, came out day one, and it was shocking. And then it took them like 2 months for this big patch update to completely change the game. And it was phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people lost a lot of respect, a lot of trust with the game. And that's a worry, especially if they're planning to kind of like have this game be kind of like, let's say, developed and worked on for the foreseeable future, right? But no, wanted to share this with you guys. What are your thoughts, guys? Down below, please let me know. But anyway, if you have enjoyed today's video, then be sure to leave a massive thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment what's regarding this. But anyway, you guys, thanks for watching, and as always, in my next video, adios, chaps, boom.
And her is not in her. She's a diamond.